There's certainly no evidence of that at the moment. As you quite rightly say, we're getting back to 2019 pre-COVID levels, just a little bit shy of that on a global basis. The Asia-Pacific region is lagging a little bit behind because of the late reopening of some of the international borders. But certainly the environment at the moment remains, I think, positive for airlines, and most airline CEOs are cautiously optimistic about the outlook for 2024, despite the headwinds that you've outlined in terms of higher inflation, higher oil prices, and interest rates, much higher than we had been used to for quite some time.
You were just talking about how Asia-Pacific region is set to kind of be boosted this year. We just saw the travel numbers coming through for the Lunar New Year period for China. That is looking pretty promising. But given, of course, it's been a pretty tepid recovery overall for the world's second largest economy as it has come out of COVID, are we expecting ramping up, particularly when we look at international travel for China?
Yes, I believe we can be very optimistic about that. In fact, the figures as we went through the latter part of 2023 were very encouraging. December was at about 83% of where we were in 2019. And when you consider in January, we were at about 57%. So there was quite a significant ramp up as we came towards the end of the calendar year. And the figures that we've seen in the early part of this year have been very encouraging. So I fully expect international travel within the region to recover to 2019 levels this year.
As I was just talking about in terms of earnings, we are seeing some pretty positive results coming through in relation to Q4. But you've been talking a bit about as well the headwinds, particularly in terms of those supply chain disruptions. Can you just talk us through how long that's likely to persist and how much is that going to potentially hamper growth going forward?
Well, looking forward, we've tempered the growth outlook for the industry, reflecting some of these challenges. The supply chain issues have been there now for a couple of years. They are slightly improving, but there are still some significant issues that will need to be overcome, which will continue through 2024, 2025, maybe into the early part of 2026. But at least we're seeing a better outlook from manufacturers, a better grasp of the challenge that they have faced, and a slightly improving situation. But it will hold back the delivery of new aircraft and the reintroduction into service of some aircraft that were taken out. It's also extending the maintenance time on aircraft as maintenance facilities wait for spare parts to be delivered. So it's very frustrating in an environment where demand is actually quite strong. And in fact, what we've seen right throughout the period of the recovery is that the demand has outstripped the supply, principally because of these restrictions on the supply side.